you know, the society then condemned the father of the present president that we have for FM, or Ferdinand Marcos, was charged with having killed something like 3,000 human rights victims. The past administration, Duterte, inaamin po niya, 6,000 ang pinatay noong 6 na taon na nakaraan. And
According to police records.
according to
Pero,
admitted, 6,000 in 6 years, as against Ferdinand Marcos Sr., 3,000 in 20 years. Every death is condemnable, but let us put it in the context of where we are today. One of the failures probably is the impunity that prevails. And not only in the case of human rights, but also in the case of corruption. We went to the streets in 40 years ago on EDSA because of what we perceived as corrupt practices. Today, you see corruption continues. So there is impunity, and that is where I see the failure of the spirit of EDSA that we all fought for 40 years ago.
so how do we take back that power? Tama ba? How do the people now... Well, there is the trillion peso march, and it's on its third edition. So, how do... You know, in your book, Frank, you say that governance is messy, diba? But we must be patient. We must continue, respect the process, respect the democratic institutions, and
Says there is always the temptation to cut corners because people are naturally impatient. But in my view, the stability of the rule of law requires patience. Of course, we have to constantly look at our system and see where we can review, where we can improve, and therefore respond to the needs of the people. But we have to be patient because otherwise you'll be on the streets every other year. We have had one episode of People Power after EDSA, but otherwise we have changed government through a peaceful election. And this is one of the lessons we have learned then. I was Executive Secretary of President Cory, and a principal mandate that I had personally was to make sure that there was a peaceful transition of power from President Cory to President Ramos. So these are the things which we have learned, and we have to be patient as a people. Otherwise, you'll have the...
But we have short memories.
Well, yes, it's not easy to govern the country. It's not easy to govern. We have learned that democracy is a difficult process. It has its own warts, but we must. I continue to believe that this is the best system of government that we can have.